What does it mean to sugarcoat something? Look, when there is data that's very intense, it's not always wise to reveal the data as it is. So you either censor part of it or you describe it in a softer manner. That's not sugarcoating, that's just being practical. A lot of people call sugarcoating is just being practical, okay? What is sugarcoating? First of all, sugarcoating is an English expression. There is no real thing as putting sugar on someone as a coat, okay? Or maybe if you're decorating cake, but okay. To sugarcoat something simply means that there is evil, or maybe not even evil, there's something dangerous, but you deny the danger thereof. That's sugarcoating. For example, if you have a parent who's an adult who can't handle that his or her will is challenged, and now there's this helpless human being, 4 years old, and he smacks the kid to make sure that his or her will is validated. That's first of all, this child abuse, that's being coward, and that's being a failure as a human being because you can't handle frustration. Not only can't you handle frustration, you choose the cowardly way of inflicting harm on a defenseless human being who's also dependent upon you. When this happens, people have to call it adult and ask him, well, what the heck did you do? Hitting a small human being, what's wrong with you? You have aggression? Why don't you go to the box club, fighting one of those guys to fight with? Huh? Oh, what's wrong with you? Just hitting a small kid. What the heck? What can a small kid do to you? You're the adult. The kid can't do anything to you. You get what I'm saying here? But what often happens is, especially among praying Christians, they sugarcoat it. They say, well, it's discipline. The child needs to learn to respect. He needs to learn to validate the feelings of the parent. What? So a grown man or a grown woman would also want to evaluate their own feelings and their own thoughts. They don't want to take responsibility of how they think and how they feel. They choose the easy way to act out against someone. And instead of taking out on someone who can fight back, they choose to act out on someone who's dependent upon them. Just because some will of theirs is not acknowledged. And you say that it's a child's fault because the child needs to validate that individual, that grown adults unexamined expectations? What? That's sugarcoating. That's very dangerous. Because then you're teaching people that authority figures have a right to harm you when their will is not validated, no matter how absurd and out of hand their will is. By the way, I'm not promoting negative behavior of kids towards parents, absolutely not. Just, I want to point out the following. Kids are human beings. We all start as kids. And kids don't have the ability to think in complex ways. That's why kids tend to say things in a very raw manner that people tend to find hurtful. Why? Because they can't think in complex manners yet. Around age 6 or 7, this is developed. So kids, especially at a very young age, they tend to notice things far better and far sharper than most adults. So when a kid malfunctions, it is because something's wrong with the environment. But now you're telling me that it's the kid's fault that the environment doesn't add up? Whether it's the parents or just the culture in general? What the heck is that? That's sugarcoating, and that's dangerous. Okay, something else. You have this minister in a country, let's say he's the Minister of Justice, and he is going to the cold cases. There were many homicides that were not solved. And the minister wants all those homicides solved because he thinks 2,000 cold cases is way too much for the low population we have here. Let's say the population was around 1.2 million people. Still, 2,000 cold cases, that means that many people are involved in cover-up things. So the minister thought, I want this to be over. And then the minister, personally, it doesn't have to, because he's the minister, he has detectives and police stations that have to do this, but he personally went through some of those cases. And realized that the individual that ended up as a homicide victim, years before that, they were the target of violence collectively, whether by their own relatives or by their ex-partners. But the population didn't do anything against it. And then the minister thinks, hold on a minute, is this how things go in this country, in this society? that someone's life is in danger and the rest just allows it to happen because it's none of their business? So the minister thought, okay, so they're sugarcoating harm here. So the minister complained about this to the president. And the president, together with local leaders, thought, you know what? If this is how this population functions, then we're going to make things hard on them. And they did. And when the government began to oppress them, now the population, those common people, were fed up. They were angry. They couldn't take it. They wanted new elections and all of it. And then that minister of justice told the president, you see how cowardice these people are? Now that we, the state, take action against them, now they're so upset that they're the victim. But all those cases, those cold case documents I have here, of all those people whose lives were in danger, and nobody did anything against them because they want to be left alone, they're sugarcoating it with all kinds of garbage. And the president told the minister, sir, I understand your frustration, but that's just how many common people are. That's the people we govern. We have to deal with them. There are people with good instincts who are responsible amongst them, and it's those people we need to protect by keeping those common people in check. And the president told him, when I was a kid, I had a similar thing happening. My dad was knocked down several times by certain people from the neighborhood. He reported it. Nobody did anything against it. My dad died when I was 15 years old, due to his injuries. And nobody ever challenged the perpetrators, those drunkards, nor the people that enabled them. There were some people that when I saw what I went through, they assisted me. They pushed me in the right direction. Sometimes they were hard on me, but only were hard on me for my own good. They didn't want me to look for escapism, they wanted me to move forward. So you have such people around, minister. It's just that you have many common people that harm such people. So that's why I decided to become politically active, because I want to take some action against those cowards. Well, I can't guarantee justice, but I can repress those cowards as much as possible. Now look, this was a long parable, I know, but I want to highlight something to you here. Sugarcoating is when there is danger, but you deny the danger just to be left alone, just to be at ease. Now, of course, when you acknowledge something and something's quite intense and you know how to deal with it, that's different. But come on, when things are obviously dangerous, a threat to human health, a threat to human lives, and you just allow it to happen because you have some relief you want to hold on to, that's sugarcoating. Sugarcoating is not that when, for example, you have an employee that works somewhere and you have some people that can't stand him, that you're telling him, you know what, that guy can't really stand you, well, he has his reasons, so-called reasons. If you say it like this, you are being factual, but you don't overwhelm the victim with the data. But if you just say to someone, well, people just don't like you because this and that, then you are cooperating with victimization. Because you shouldn't agree with victimization to begin with. So not sugarcoating does not mean that you just throw out raw data like it is. People just have to find a way to deal with it. Yes, consider your audience, consider people's feelings, but not at the expense of safety. And that's a trick with many social norms. Many social norms, when you look at them, are sugarcoating. Look, you should consider people's feelings, how people feel, and people's well-being. Of course you do. Not at the expense of people's safety. Okay? And it's another thing. Giving people the right to have a negative will is sugarcoating, and it's a crime. The governments of this world will not consider it a crime because they don't have the capacity to deal with it, but the Most High considers it a crime. Against him, against the universe, against human population, it's a crime. So to grant people the right to have their reasons for having a negative will, or to have sympathy for the negative will of someone, that is a crime. It's sugarcoating. Sugarcoating is a crime. Well, I hope I've explained to you what sugarcoating is and what it isn't. I don't sugarcoat. I make sure that when I transfer data, I do it in an effective manner for the benefit and well-being of those who are listening. That's what I ought to do. That's my obligation. But I will not call danger non-danger, just to keep people happy. And if something is complex, I'll admit it's complex, and I'll need to dive more into it. Well, that's it for now. Agree with Christ and be at peace.